Good morning to one and all present here. I extend my heartiest welcome to all the parents who are here with us on this orientation program. Kudos to our team of IGCSE Cambridge for the successful completion of an academic session. We are confident of setting the higher than the highest goal for the coming session. We are glad to have you all here to be a part of this program. I welcome you once again. We would like to commence with a traditional invocation of Lord Ganesha, known as Ganesh Vandana. I would like to congratulate SRGS Noida, who has now very successfully completed one academic cycle with the Cambridge curriculum. And I hope and I know that they've done really well. That's only because I have been working with this school since I think close to a year now. And I remember that when they had applied for affiliation, their vision was very clear. And that is all that matters, you know. You think about the results later, but your vision should be crystal clear that you want to make an impact on the child's education. You want to bring in global education into the city of Noida in this school. And by that, I not only mean global curriculum, but this entire different, non-traditional experiential learning and teaching methodology, which we call as a pedagogy. So once again, kudos to this school the teachers are going to have a lovely presentation right after I conclude, talking about how this 1 year has gone and how is it that the Cambridge classrooms are different, what is the value add, what is the curriculum about, how is it that they teach, and how is it that their pedagogy is different from what is that is existing. So I have a very short presentation and I will just take you through the key parameters, what you should know as parents. Okay, and after that we have teachers' presentations, and after that we probably have a Q&A in which you can ask any questions to me. If you already come prepared with some questions, we'll take that up in the Q&A. But if there are any questions that strike to you during my presentation, of course you can park them and we will also take them up in the Q&A. So very briefly, I'm going to focus on who we are, what are the kind of schools that we work with, and what is our offering. So Cambridge International is the world's largest provider of international qualifications of age group is 3 to 19 actually. Because the Cambridge pathway starts right from pre-primary till grade 12. So the entire curriculum, the entire pathway is split into that fashion that it caters right from pre-primary children, which is 3 onwards, till the age group 90, which is grade 12. We'll talk about the pathways a little later. It is part of the University of Cambridge. A lot of people ask that, what is the origin of this curriculum? Where is it coming from? So the name suggests Cambridge, and of course goes without saying, it is part of the University of Cambridge. And I hope everybody here has heard of the University of Cambridge. So Cambridge is one of the oldest education institutions of the world, always ranked amongst the top 5 universities of the world. Can anybody just quickly guess that how old is Cambridge University? The answer is not on the slide. Just take a wild guess. How many years do you think this university would be? How old? When was it started? Just take a guess. 50 years, 100 years. Take a guess.
More than 100 years.
More than 100 years? Okay. Anybody else more optimistic than that? Sorry? 180. Okay. Before anybody Googles, I will just say this university is, my dear parents, 814 years old, by the way. Okay, so this is, I don't remember which is the first oldest, but this happens to be the second oldest university of the world actually, and some of the most notable scientists, thinkers, mathematicians have actually studied there once, and you can go and find out that who are these names. 14% of Nobel Peace Prize winners are from the University of Cambridge. They actually studied there. So this is the kind of legacy, this is the kind of mothership that this university has. And this curriculum is also so prestigious because it has been framed, it comes from people and professors who are teaching there, and these really bright minds who are at the University of Cambridge, who studied there once upon a time. So that particular flavor of the curriculum is traveling across the globe in different schools, in different manifestations, right? The board, when we talk about the board, I told you the university is 814 years old, but the board, I mean, we don't really call ourselves a board, we are more of an education provider actually, but the board itself is 150 years old. Okay, so that means this curriculum in different pathways has been running across the globe for close to 150 years now. And we prepare school students for life, helping them develop an informed curiosity and a lasting passion for learning. This is not actually just content written on this slide, this is the core essence of the curriculum. We want to make the children lifelong learners. We want that they should always have that flame of learning burning inside them. And how do we do that? It is all through the academic pedagogy, which is experiential in nature, which is based on critical thinking, it's based on reasoning, it's based on doing research, and it's based on problem-solving approaches which we entail in the students right from pre-primary. A little bit of a footprint. You all must have heard that schools are calling themselves global schools, international schools, world schools. But do you think there's anything global happening inside the school just because their name is global school? Unfortunately not. It is just the name which says world school, global school. I personally believe that a school should call itself a global school only when it has a global curriculum running in it. And global curriculum has to come from a legacy which is truly international in nature. And that is why we call ourselves a truly international board, also because of the kind of footprint that we have all across the globe. We have close to 10,000 Cambridge schools in over 160 countries. And in more than 40 countries, we partner directly with government ministries. That means that in more than 40 countries, it is only the Cambridge International Curriculum that runs. Just like India, we have the CBSE and the NCR framework that predominates. That means in more than 40 countries, we have the Cambridge International Board that is the education pattern of that particular country. A little bit about the recognitions. Cambridge International Board and the qualifications are recognized by universities in 195 countries, including India. Now, talking about India, a lot of people ask that, is this board recognized in India? Will my child be able to sit for Delhi University, for IIT, for JEE, for NEET, and all the other examinations, even for private universities? The answer to all these questions is yes, 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 and yes. And why is that? Because of AIU's equivalence. I'm not too sure how many people here know about AIU. AIU is Association of Indian Universities. It is an autonomous body that runs under the Ministry of Education and which is responsible for granting equivalence to colleges, universities, global boards for having the same equivalence that CBSE holds in India. That means any student coming out of a state board or CBSE board, the chances and the opportunities which that student has, a Cambridge student is treated no differently. In fact, what we've seen in the last 3-4 years, a Cambridge student in India is, by universities and colleges in India, are much more accepted, much more preferred, because the kind of skill set that they come with. Okay? You must be aware that even colleges and universities these days don't only look for academic rigor, they look for something which is known as academic rigor. Okay, so there's a difference between academic record and academic rigor. Academic record is just a set of percentage and more quantifiable performance of a child. But academic rigor is mixture of content and skills that in school life, is it only information that the child has gathered, or has he or her actually learned the practical application of that information which he or she has learned in the classroom? Okay? And it's also a combination of skills. So that's what we call academic rigor. And Cambridge very much aligns with the philosophy of building academic rigor in children. Because this is what is the skill which is required as a 21st century student when your child goes to college or university, and further, eventually, when they enter into their careers. Please remember that we must not prepare our children only for one exam or one one board or one assessment or just to pass one class. What is it that we're preparing our children for? Life. And do you think today's life is what is going to exist after 5 years, 10 years? What exists today wasn't existing in 2005 or 2010. You see the speed with which the world is changing, not only academically, technologically, I would say socially also. The things around us have changed so much. As parents, you must realize that the kind of India that you grew up in, it's not the same kind of India that your children are growing up in, right? So, what is it that we require to build in our children? It's only skills, my dear parents. Academics is important and will always be important. But now, the need of the hour is to prioritize skills over content. It has to be a mixture. Right? So, I was talking about the recognition. Cambridge International Board is recognized very much in India. If you go to the website of Cambridge, you will be able to see records of students of Indian Cambridge schools who have got very high ranks in IIT, in JEE, in NEET, in so many CLAT even, in management examinations, in hospitality examinations, right? So everywhere eligibility is different because every college and university has a different eligibility. So once your children go up to class 11 and 9th onwards actually, they have to choose the right set, right combination of subjects which will fulfill their dream of getting into their dream college or university, right? Another misconception. Take a global board only if you want to send your children outside. You think this is true? Everybody used to think it's true, but actually it's not. As a parent, we have this intrinsic philosophy that, if I want to send my child abroad, then I should put him or her into Cambridge or Ivy. It's actually not true. And in 2018, we didn't have any facts to suffice this statement. So we ran a survey in Cambridge schools of India. We wanted to see that how many children after passing grade 12 have gone abroad and how many of them have stayed back in India. They were pleasantly surprising results. 53% of Cambridge international students, they went up to attend the top 500 ranked universities abroad globally. And 47% of the students stayed back in India and they got admission here and there in different colleges of their choice. So what does this tell us? It tells us that, Cambridge is, as much as it's aligned to abroad, and obviously your children will have an added advantage if you want to send your child abroad. They will also have advantages if they plan to stay back in India also. Because there's equivalence, there's curriculum alignment, and the skill set is absolutely bang on, which even Indian colleges and universities now want. Have you heard of these courses in universities now which are interdisciplinary by nature? When we hear that this particular course is interdisciplinary, what does it mean? Yes.
It means that it has subjects from arts and science together.
Absolutely.
Commerce and arts together.
Correct. And why do you think that's happening? What is the need? Even I am a CBSE product and, there were clusters. Science le lo, ya commerce le lo, and arts le lo. But why do you think these things are coming up?
Because the careers that have come up now are much different from the traditional careers that we used to have earlier.
Absolutely.
And these careers require a cross-functional skill set and a broad base of education, which cannot be limited only to a specific stream of, say, commerce or non-medical or biology or arts.
Correct. Absolutely. I think we should have a round of applause for that. That's a brilliant answer. So thank you. So yeah, I mean, coming from that answer, everything is becoming interdisciplinary. I heard that NLU now has BA LLB, but with a track of marketing in it. So just it just surprises me that doesn't it make you think that things are changing so much. Which brings me to a reverse mechanism, and it makes me think that if my child is today 5 or 6 or 7 years old, and they have to enter into a curriculum, into a world actually, which is getting so, I think, which is shrinking. The opportunities are getting manifold, but then the subjects, the courses, they're becoming so clustered. So the preparation for such kind of a future has to be done now. This is actually one major difference between the existing education pattern of India and what Cambridge offers. Right from grade 9, and I think even from grade 1 also, the combination of subjects in Cambridge is such that your child will, along with academic rigor, be exposed to extracurriculars also, which are not just activities, they are proper subjects and they have to appear in examinations for that. And there are new age subjects in Cambridge which are directly linked to the kind of careers that are existing today. We'll talk about the subjects ahead. This is a very small list of the kind of schools that have partnered with Cambridge International, and they are offering the Cambridge International Board now. So there's Mayo College, Doon School, Delhi College, the British School, Shri, Valley. We have close to 640 schools in India now that are offering the Cambridge International Board. And I'll just give you a little sneak peek into the process. The schools have to, of course, there's a financial investment, but there's also 65 quality standards that are looked into when we do the inspection of any school that applies to the affiliation of the Cambridge International Board. The teachers have to be trained. So all the teachers that are there in the school or any Cambridge schools, they all have to be trained in Cambridge specializations. They have to be Cambridge certified. Only then they will be able to deliver what it takes to study a Cambridge curriculum, right? So the school list is, of course, increasing day by day because every school, along with calling itself a global school, actually wants to offer that global flavor of curriculum to their students and also the parents. What is it that we offer to our schools? It's a combination of curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. Curriculum is, of course, the required knowledge, skills, and understanding. And then the pedagogy, which is the approach through which the teaching and the learning process takes place. And then the assessment, which is a way of finding out that what your learners have learned. As soon as a school becomes a Cambridge International School, they get access to something called as a school support hub, which is a Cambridge dashboard. Everything from teacher guides to answer keys, past papers, marking schemes, everything comes from University of Cambridge, which is directly accessible to the teachers here. So whatever they're teaching your children on a daily basis in the classroom is the framework which is accessible by them on that dashboard. They only have to download materials, they have to study that, and following the Cambridge guidelines, they have to deliver that. I told you it's a pathway right from age 3 to 19. And how is it split from 3 to 19 age? This is important for you to know. There are 5 pathways in the Cambridge International Program. We start with Cambridge Early Years, which is age group 3, 4, 5. And then we have Cambridge Primary, which is grade 1 to 5. Then we have Cambridge Lower Secondary, which is grade 6, 7, 8. Then we have Cambridge IGCSE, which is the largest examination board of the world, upper secondary, which is grade 9 and 10. And then we have Cambridge advanced levels, which is Cambridge O level and Cambridge A level, that is grade 11 and 12. These are the 5 pathways that any school can offer in any order. Okay? I think SRGS Noida has been very, very wise to start the Cambridge program right from the fundamental age group, so that your children can be started to, they can get that grooming right from pre-primary, and then they climb on the ladder of the Cambridge pathways. And the entire pathway, as I said, is focused on critical thinking, research skills, and reasoning and problem-solving approach, which is inbuilt to the students. Each qualification can be offered either as a standalone program or as part of a continuous pathway. I was talking about subjects. Now from grade 1 to 8, which is primary and the lower secondary program, your children get to choose from 10 subjects. Cambridge offers 10 subjects in this combination. Now every school is free to choose their own subject list in whatever combination they think would be suitable for their children. And the core subjects are English, Cambridge English, Cambridge Mathematics, and Cambridge Science. Along with that, we have 3 extracurricular subjects, which are Cambridge Physical Education, Cambridge Art and Design, and Cambridge Music. And we have modern age subjects, which are career-oriented, Cambridge Digital Literacy, Cambridge Computing and Technology, and Cambridge Global Perspectives. I'll tell you what these subjects are and how they're so beautiful in nature. Digital literacy is all about, we're surrounded by internet, and day by day it's only going to increase. And there are so many jobs and there are so many careers coming out of the digital world, So we want to start making your children mindful of how to use the internet in a constructive manner and how to responsibly make sense out of the internet. Okay? And in every class, it starts from grade 1 and 2, but in every class, the intensity of this subject will keep increasing. Okay? Cambridge Computing and Technology starts from basic computer literacy skills from grade 1, but as and when your child goes in grade 3, 4, and 5, there are computing concepts, to be taught. Computer languages come into play, and a lot of computer techniques are taught to the children, which are career-related. And then we have Cambridge Global Perspectives. This is a beautiful program, and it's all about research projects, which starts right from primary age, right from grade 1 and 2. They are global research projects. They are like, children very little are working on projects, they are working on global issues, they are working on team issues, and Global Perspectives also gives the children an opportunity to get direct access to some of the webinars that are organized in the University of Cambridge. So that kind of connection and communication we try to have with your children directly to the university also. So these are the 10 subjects that are offered in grade 1 to 8. Question tests, and there are Cambridge primary checkpoint exams also. Some of these exams come from Cambridge, they are organized and they happen at a global level from Cambridge. That means if your child here is appearing for a Cambridge checkpoint exam, he or she can be benchmarked against any child who's taken the same exam probably in any other continent of the world. So that is global benchmarking. That's the advantage which your child gets from taking the Cambridge checkpoint exams. Now, how is it that, we are supporting our schools? As a parent, you need to be assured that the school is equipped enough to handle your children. They have the right technical equipment, they have the right set of teachers, they have the right set of resources that come from the University of Cambridge. So, right from the planning and preparation phase, we support our schools. We give them the right tools to start the curriculum with. I told you about the School Support Hub. That dashboard has everything that a parent and a teacher and a learner would want to know. So the syllabus, the specimen papers and the teacher guides, very, very important. Today morning only I was having a discussion with Geeta ma'am about how nice and how beautiful the teacher guides are. And then learning and revision, we have past papers, marking schemes. That means your children here, the teachers here will be able to see all the past papers of a particular subject, the marking schemes also, that how to even correct a paper. Okay, and in terms of revision, that's support for Cambridge learners. Just like we have teacher guides, we also have learner guides. That means there are guides available for your children in case they get stuck that how to study a particular concept, how to revise for a module before an examination. There will be learner guides which are available on that dashboard, which they can access and learn that how even to learn. Yeah. So I would like to conclude with a quote. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls and the other people build windmills. Thank you so much for hearing me out. And I think now over to the teachers for their presentation. And after that, we'll of course take out if there are any questions. Thank you so much.
So now I would like to call Madam Nikita, who is the coordinator of our school. Greetings everyone. I'm here to introduce my team, Cambridge team of teachers. I'll start with Miss Pradima and Miss Nidhi. They are here to share their classroom experiences of early years, followed by primary teachers and lower secondary teachers.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, parents. In pre-primary, we do the activities in which the children are more actively engaged, more on hands-on activity, and this leads to more on learning. So we would like to share a few activities which we have done during the session in early years. Now I will ask Nidhi ma'am to share the activities which she has conducted in IEYC today.
Good morning everyone. So I would like to share two activities, two numeracy activities which we did this session. One is for counting and one for ordinal numbers. So in numeracy we are taking counting in a fun way so that children enjoy also and they will learn at the same time. For counting we played a game, a counting game, wherein we used a board with number displayed on it, number 1 to 11, and ice cream sticks with dots in it. So in this activity, children has to pick one stick with dots and they will be counting that particular dots and they will be putting it on the correct number on the board displayed there. So in that way, they learn the counting activity and they learn the number recognition at the same time. Now, so we introduced ordinal numbers with the game Let's Race. In this game, the child has to move like an animal, sideways like a crab, slowly like a turtle. So, in this activity, they are having a race, they have to move like animals. So, in the end, animal will be winning the game, not the child. So, they really enjoyed this activity and they are learning the ordinal numbers in a fun way. The other activity which we have taken for ordinal numbers as a follow-up activity. In this we told that these cars had a race. So in this activity, child will be telling the color of the car standing according to their position. So if we are asking them that which car is first, child will be telling the color of that particular car which is standing on position number 1. So in that way, it enhances their understanding of ordinal numbers. Thank you. Now I request Madhima ma'am to share her activities which she conducted in IEYC.
There are many mathematical skills that the children learn, but the most foundational skill is the number decomposition. Why I call foundation skill is that this is the base for all many other skills in maths, like addition, subtraction, and this had helped a lot in my learning and in my classes. Yeah. So first, let us understand what is number decomposition. It's basically a breaking of a number into smaller parts. For example, we know that 5 we can break it into 3, 2, 4 and 1. So this in turn helps when a child is addition or when calculating mentally. Now, one way to introduce was the use of number bond, which is there in the screen. And number bond is a tool where we divide a part of from a whole. In this activity, we have given a number to the class and say example number 6. And then we have asked the children to pick only 6 blocks and make what all possible combination they can make from the 6. Like 1, 5, they come up with a combination like 1, 5, 2, 4 and 3 and 3. We have given a number 6 there. We tried this activity till number 20. We have taken many numbers along with this and this we have done till number 20 and children have recorded their observations and this recording was done independently. We have just a guide but they have done it independently in the class. Another game which we have played, it's a follow-up game. So that was a cover-up in which we have shown the number, like for example, if we have given 5 objects, they are in total 5 objects, and we cover few objects. By this time, the children are so much aware of the combinations that they know that the 3 are covered, so they have to find only 2 to make the total 5. So this was a follow-up activity which was later done with the, after hands-on activity we have done with the worksheets also and in the books. This skill, as I have told, this was very useful in my addition and subtraction, introducing this topic. And when the children know how to break the number, then they will be able to think flexibly with the numbers also. Okay, so this was about my activity in numeracy. And in literacy, we were doing an activity which the children are also liking it, that we are introducing, we have made a corner. This is called a word corner, where the children are writing the new vocabulary. So whatever they learn in their class or whatever they observe when they are roaming in the school, in the corridors, there are many other words which they observe, they write in their in this note. Some they write their own, or in the big words they take the help of a teacher. So this has helped the children to increase their vocabulary, and naturally they had come up very well this time. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you. And over to.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shri.
And my name is Shri. We had the honor of taking grade 1 this year, which is Cambridge Program Stage 2.
It is no secret that learning starts at a very young age. And so do creativity, curiosity, and critical thinking. To ignite the same, we engrossed our learners in some amazing hands-on activities.
We provide the little prodigies with metacognitive experiences that help them think about what they learn as they are engaged in various activities.
To highlight a few, recently we taught our learners about electricity. We just did not teach them about its usages and safety rules, but we also told them how to make the electric circuit using cells, wires, and lamps. Interestingly, our learners read about Wangari Maathai, a famous woman of Kenya, as a part of their curriculum. They read her autobiography, which in return encouraged them to write their own autobiography too at such a budding age. And let me tell you, they came up with amazing autobiographies.
They also explore volume and capacity through hands-on activities. which help children gain an understanding of the concept, allowing them to estimate capacity accurately. Learners often get confused between milliliters and liters. However, through equipments, they learn to measure and gain an understanding of the topic. They also examine temperature, which is how the mercury rises from the bulb when heated and falls as the temperature goes down. Mercury is not bound to the glass surface, thus it can glide across and display temperature as the temperature changes. They studied measurement and realized that mass does not depend on size. Different methods weigh differently.
Our Cambridge curriculum also encouraged our learners to take interview of their own teachers. This not only encouraged them to improve their conversational skills, but this also fostered creativity and curiosity in their young minds.
We firmly believe that children have to be educated, but there should always be room for self-learning. Thank you.
And here, we welcome you all to the Cambridge Curriculum Orientation 24-25. My name is Ayushi Pandey,
My name is Shri.
and we take Grade 2 Cambridge Program Stage 3.
Here at Cambridge Curriculum, we follow active learning as a pedagogical practice that places student at its center. It focuses on how students learn and we focus on what they learn, not just how they learn. At SRGS, we focus on the learners to think hard rather than just passively retaining the information. And we also encourage our learners to take the responsibility for their learning and support them in becoming independent and confident learners, not just ready for school, but beyond. Through active learning approach, we give our learners the inquiry, which is activity-led tasks, open-ended questions, and opportunities to externalize thinking in a variety of ways. Thereby, learners develop analysis, evaluation, and problem-solving skills.
This year, we did a lot of activities with our learners where they worked and thought like a mathematician and a scientist. Sharing a few of the activities with you all. Learners were introduced to prisms and pyramids and their similarities and please pause the video. Thank you so much. So they were introduced to prisms and pyramids and their similarities and differences. So what they did one activity where they made the 3D shapes using toothpicks and clays, and they were able to learn they were able to find out the vertices, edges, and faces on their own. So this particular activity allowed the learners to have hands-on experience, and they were also able to find out the properties as it will be shown in the video. Through such activities and tasks, they are able to take the charge of their own learning. So let's have a glimpse of that.
So here at SRGS, we create classroom routines that help learners to transit beautifully to different activities, and this they do it independently. To be able to move from teacher instructions and to be working on their models on their own independently. So here's a glimpse of our classroom activity where we can see the learners working on their life cycle models independently. Can we have the video, please?
side. Over to Mithila ma'am.
Good morning, dear parents. My name is Mithila, and I take a global perspective for grades 1, 2, 3, and 6, and also science for grade 3 and 6. So I'll be sharing glimpses of the global perspective challenges that was conducted for stage 3. Now, global perspective develops transferable skills like analysis, collaboration, communication, research, evaluation, and reflection through different challenges that are conducted in the class. These support the learners in their studies as well as in their lives. So the learners got a chance to share their interest with their peers, and the skill focus here was the communication. Later on, carrying on to what rules they could lay down for their friendship. They went on a school tour to note down the different rules that were stated in different areas in the school. For example, library and the lab and the computer lab. They came back and they brainstormed that there were a few more areas where they could write the rules. The skill focus here was of research and collaboration. They got together to write down a few more rules for areas such as the sports area for the canteen, and that was the final task, which was presented very well with full confidence, as you can see the smiles on the face. So, like I've mentioned, the 6 skills that a global perspective focuses on. Moving on to, I'd like to share the glimpses for grade 6 science, how the learners could attain the concept clarity and the subject knowledge for properties of materials, metals and non-metals. They went on to research a metal and non-metal and present it to the class. The students then made predictions whether which materials could conduct electricity, and they tested the materials for the same to get the results. Finally, they went on to conduct more experiments to understand how the separation of material mixtures happen, and also to understand the different chemical properties in the lab. With that, I'll end my presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, honored present here. Myself, Dipinder Kaur. I'm grateful I got the opportunity to teach the Cambridge curriculum. In the current session, I'm taking the grades. I'm taking the subject digital literacy in grade 1, 2, and 3, and I'm taking computing in grade 6. It has been a wonderful experience while teaching the Cambridge curriculum in primary grades, as the students have shown utmost interest and enthusiasm to learn the subject. They have learned and they are much aware of the computer basics. But in addition, they have been introduced to the programming concepts from the very beginning of their learning stage. They have learned MSW logo, which is a very simple computer language and which is based on commands. They have drawn different shapes, patterns using different colors, and even arithmetic operations through commands. To learn and execute these commands at such an early stage, I think this is a very big achievement for them. They are very little and they are learning those. Then comes to the Cambridge lower secondary computing that I am taking in grade 6. It is also a very great experience. They have been introduced to microbit, which is a physical computing device, and it has a small microprocessor built into it. So they are learning how to program. They have learned the text-based programming, and they have learned how to convert the block-based programming, which they have done in Scratch, and they converted into the text-based Python code. It is one of the most popular programmable device, the microwave, and to get hands-on with computer science and the technology, they have learned how to convert it and how to transfer that code through the simulator. We have the MakeCode online application which they have used and they test it there, and then they transfer the code into the microbit. So I'm glad to share here that the learners have created wonderful interactive games using this microbit, and which has the sensors. That device has many sensors like light sensor, it has the touch sensor, and also the LED lights and many more features. So I think they have shown a remarkable performance, and they have also presented their work in the class. So they can through these activities they showcase them as the computer scientists, as they have learned how programming and logical thinking help in local and global industries. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much.
Good morning everyone. I am Shivani, teaching mathematics for grade 6, CLS 7A. So, since we are at the end of this exciting first year, I would really like to share my wonderful experience with you all. Cambridge Maths is totally different from CBSE Math. It involves holistic development, conceptual understanding of mathematical principles. It places strong emphasis on problem-solving skills, critical thinking, and application of mathematical concepts in real-world scenario. Now, I would like to call Amolika and Anmol of CLS 7A to demonstrate an activity on probability. Please welcome Amolika and Anmol.
In the center, you can transfer the board also. Slightly at the back. Yeah. Yes, it's going.
Welcome everyone. Today we are going on a captivating journey to the intriguing world of probability. It is about determining the chances to get and make a prediction of an event to happen.
Join me, Anmol, and my classmate Amalika as we unravel the mysteries of chances and prediction.
Imagine you juggling oranges. How likely are you to catch them all? That's the essence of probability. It's not about predicting the future, but it's about seeing the odds and making a better choice. Like how many oranges are there and how scared you are, or maybe even if an unexpected gust of wind blows them all away. It's about knowing the odds to make better choices, whether it's when you're juggling oranges or you're navigating life's intriguing opportunities.
I have a coin in my hand, and before it takes flight and flips, can you predict what it will land on? A board heads or tails? Think fast. So suppose I predict that it will land on our heads. Now let's flip the coin. So it came out to be a tails. So even though prediction was heads, the outcome turned out to be tails. Let's do it one more time. I predict that it may be tails. It turns out to be tails. It turns out to be tails, so my prediction was actually correct. Now I would like you all to predict what the prediction will be.
Please raise your hand to predict what the coin answer will be.
Yes, please. So let's flip the coin. And it turns out to be a tails, so our prediction was wrong.
Well, the coin is hard to predict.
So let's do it one more time. Can anybody else predict? So Ma'am has predicted tails. Let's flip the coin. It turns out to be tails.
Let's do it one more time. Can anybody predict?
3 was the prediction and 1 was the outcome, Monica.
So sir has predicted 5 and let's do it. It turned out to be a 4. So now, as you can see, it was a 1 and a 4. Let's do it some more time so we can find a partner if there is. I predicted 2 in my mind. It was 3. And let's say prediction is 5. A 3 again.
The dice has 6 outcomes, so it's more difficult than predicting a coin.
So let's predict this time 6. It turned out to be 5. This is also like a coin. Each roll is independent and is not based on the previous roll.
So as you can see, none of them are correct.
So can we find an accuracy here? It was 0.5,
Which means there's 0% accuracy in flipping a dice. Rolling dice.
Okay, thank you, Monica and you all, for this wonderful presentation. Yes, now I want to explain the difference between Cambridge Maths and CBSE Maths. So let's have a look over the content. So this is content of class 6. You can see the Cambridge Maths includes the basic mathematics also, basic mathematics chapters which is there in CBSE. Like you can see fractions, decimals, integers, equations, along with some advanced topics like functions, graphs, probability, which you have seen here, area and volumes, and interpreting and discussing result. It also includes bar graphs, double bar graphs, and pie chart at the level of grade 6. So it is a bit advanced, but the way we are teaching is very simple and very easy to understand. Just like they have gone through the probability through a game. So in this way, we can say that the curriculum is quite flexible. It includes mixed and different method of solving a particular problem. It also includes open-ended questions, which is not there in CBSE. Hence, it focuses more over the understanding of concept rather than memorizing and application of formula. It is basically a comprehensive education, and the most important question is about the competitive exam. It aligns with competitive exams as it includes analytical thinking, logical thinking, and verbal thinking. So it goes with all the competitive exams. Thank you and have a nice day.
Greetings once again. Extending my heartfelt thanks to all the parents to be a part of this Cambridge seminar. I'm here to share my experiences of activities which acted like eye-opener for all my learners. There have been several engaging activities carried out throughout the session. Group discussions, role plays, crafting a resume, travel brochures, writing a film review, magazine articles, debate are just to name a few. While learners were engaged in crafting a resume, they developed their communication skills, organizational skills. They learned how to prioritize their qualities and attributes. They achieved self-awareness, career awareness, and goal setting. They also gained technological skills while using online resume building tools. Learners were also engaged in making a travel brochure in class, which helped them develop a range of skills including communication skills, creativity, and a lot of research. To sum up, all the activities which are carried out in English focus mainly on creativity, communication skills, a lot of critical thinking, This is all from my side. I would now like to call Mrs. Priya Gogol, a proud parent of Priyanshi Gogol from IYC 3A. Mom is here to share her experience. Over to you, ma'am.
My daughter is in KG, IYC 3A in Cambridge curriculum. So when she was in nursery, she was having this CBSE board. But when we got to know about this Cambridge curriculum, I was more than happy. Just because, if anybody is looking for a very, flexible and practical kind of education system, then I think this Cambridge curriculum is very good because it has a global, recognition. So that way I'm happy, and the fee structure is also very, not very high, it's very nominal. So there is no financial burden on us like global education हम अपने बच्चों को दे रहे हैं, and we have to pay a lot, and she is getting the right kind of exposure. For example, in a very layman language, I would say कि one day she came and she said कि Mama, I have learned the process of germination. Do you know what is the process of germination? I said कि process of germination. Process in itself is a very big term. Like when we talk about process, output, impact and all. तो बच्चा एक छोटा सा 5 years का आपसे पूछ रहा है कि what is the process of germination? Like I felt good. So I said no, but I don't know. Just because I wanted to hear from her mouth. So she said कि मम्मा चलो I will do it together. मैंने बोला ठीक है चलो मैं पढ़ाई मैं भी start करती हूँ from the scratch. So she said कि मम्मा I want a container. So I want mud also, soil also. Then I want a seed. So seed कहाँ से लाऊँ? Mama, you can give me the rajma seeds also. Rajma sapling. I said Priyanshi, what you said? She is sitting there. She said कि sapling दे दीजिए, rajma ले लो. क्या? I said ठीक है, it's okay. Then she said कि let's put some oil and rajma in it, and then we'll keep it in a room where it can get the proper, sunlight. So I think you can keep it here, beta, in daddy's room. नहीं mama, we don't get enough sunlight here. Then I said in our master room, no mama. In my room, we get the sunlight. There is proper sunlight, and the plant seed will grow nicely, beautifully there. So there was a logical thinking in her. Like she was logical in her, saying कि मम्मा यहाँ पे नहीं grow करेगा. She was making some sense. कुछ sense आ रहा था उससे. Then she was also critical. नहीं मम्मा यहाँ पे नहीं वहाँ पे. So she knows how to take the decisions at this age, 5+. She's able to take the things in a very right way. And just because of this Cambridge curriculum, I think she's getting the right kind of exposure. Her communication is also improving. Though we are Bihari, born and brought up in Patna, so please overlook my accent, communications and all. That I will learn from my daughter gradually. So holistic development. She's like, always engaged in some kind of activities. कुछ ना कुछ उसे चाहिए करने के लिए, and that constructive learning is there. Constructive activity कुछ ना कुछ she tries to do it at home. It's not that कि बैठ के हम टैब देखे जा रहे हैं और videos देख रहे हैं और cartoons. She wants to engage herself in any kind of activity she loves. Like she loves designing dolls' dress. So she will just ask me, Mama, can I take the paper? Can I take the Fevicol and all? And she will just start doing it. So I am finding her like she is more engaged, she is becoming more responsible kind of girl, and she keeps the things कि अभी मेरे को वहाँ पे जगह पे रखना. I want to put it all after doing the activity, after finishing the activity. I just want to put it in my cupboard. So maybe in the classroom they are being taught like that only. So she is just taking up the things, and even at home also I just try to encourage her in this direction. So, for example, one day she came and said, कि Mama, decomposition, we have learned decomposition of number 10. Decomposition of number 10, we have not learned this way. Like decomposition word. So first I just saw the video, YouTube पे मैंने ढूंढा कि भाई decomposition of number 10 को कैसे सीखा जाए. Just because हमारा बिहार बोर्ड था, so I didn't learn that way. So I am just learning everything. I think I am learning from my daughter. So I saw the video. Then decomposition of number. Okay, so that is done that way. So it was a learning for me also. I also learned from her. So this Cambridge curriculum is actually also making me also learn so many new things. For example, अब जैसे आके at the age of 5 आप किसी बच्चे से बोलते हो कि like you know what is measurement? She cannot explain you. कि उसका 3-4 लाइन का definition I don't expect her कि she will say the definition of measurement. But she showed me कि how it can be measured. आप जैसे यहाँ से वहाँ तक आप जा रहे हो तो कैसे measure करना है? तो she showed me how to measure it. Like one day she said, "Mama, capacity इसका कितना है?" तो I said, "Capacity, measurement, these are all big words." तो लग रहा था कि like, but the thing is कि यहाँ पे in Cambridge curriculum, basically the emphasis is more on concepts, on learning, making the concepts clear. So making the concepts clear, like you know, measurement का concept. Measurement in itself for a 5 years kid, it is a very big word. So like she is getting the concepts clear day by day. Measurement क्या है, capacity क्या है. One day she said कि approximately मामा कितना लगेगा इसमें? मतलब like she is using all big words. So I just want to make it sure कि बेटा you know the meaning of this approximate कितना लगेगा. तो बोली कि मम्मा जैसे like you know we have 10 friends coming to our place and we need to at least have 15 so that कि कुछ खराब हो जाए then we can distribute it again. So these are all logical thinking going on in our mind. So I think this is just because of the Cambridge curriculum. So I'm very much satisfied, and it is a very satisfying. At the end of this first year of Cambridge curriculum, she will be going to one. So it's a very fulfilling experience for me. So she is learning, but I'm also learning. I'm learning a lot just because I have to see the videos and all. Go to classroom से पढ़ के घर आती है. But then when she says so many big things, then I have to just make sure कि मैं भी उसको जब पढ़ाऊँ तो I also teach her in the right direction. So I'm also learning. But yes, being a parent, I would definitely request the parents sitting here. We should always, if anybody is thinking of getting their kids enrolled for Cambridge curriculum, I think we should start young. Just because when she was in nursery, there was no Cambridge curriculum introduced at that time. But in KG, I took the chance. Me and my husband said, let's do it. देखते हैं अच्छा नहीं होगा, we have a chance to come back to CBSE. But आप 4th-5th के बाद अगर if you want to adopt go for a Cambridge curriculum, I think तो वो choice अच्छा नहीं होगा. We should always start it at young. तो मुझे लगा कि I have taken the right decision, and I am very happy with the teaching methodology. Just because through practical learnings in a very fun way, method she is getting to teach. So this is. Thanks. Ma'am, I'm done. Thank you so much.
A very good morning again to all of you. I think we will straight away go on queries. You see, when we started the school, I used to speak a lot. Now I don't need to because my teachers, my students, they have taken over. So I would just like to answer the queries. The parents had some queries like, FAQs, which we tried to answer in the presentation. Some of those are answered by Prachi ma'am. And they had this, that what happens in the class, and that's why we were trying to share some activities across various classes with you, that what happens in the class. Okay? The books are also kept here, grade-wise, you can go and see. And our luck that this parent volunteered. We have not called any parents to come and speak, but they volunteered, and a few more also want to speak about the curriculum. But we would call them after your questions and answers. Yes, Jaideep sir, can you please give mics to those who have any queries? Any queries, please? Okay, I would like to add there must be a query about the fee structure. So I think, Preeti ma'am, you can distribute the fee structure to the parents who want to take it. And the difference between CBSE and Cambridge fee for 24-25 for pre-primary is rupees 800 per month. For grade 1 to 5 is rupees 1000 per month. and from 6th onwards it is rupees 1200 per month. So that is the difference in the fee in the CBSE and in Cambridge. Yes, there is one more financial burden. The book set of Cambridge is more expensive. Although I think with the number of schools that are coming up, I think very soon the printing also will start happening in India. We came across one book which is of digital literacy, which has been started, the printing has started in India, and there the cost has gone down. But all the other books are still coming from Cambridge, so they are expensive. So the book set is more expensive. And the third financial burden only comes when you give checkpoint in grade 5 and 8. Per subject examination cost is around 2,000 to 2,800 per subject. And in grade 5 also they are appearing for 4 main subjects through the board: English, Maths, Science and Global Perspective. And in grade 8 also they are appearing for 4 main subjects through the board with a similar fee, examination fee. All the other exams, the year exams, the formative and summative assessments happening in the other years are done in school internally. We get guidance to conduct it. Question papers can also be taken from Cambridge, but then those are conducted in-house. Yes, for questions now, please. Please ask, that will bring clarity to many others.
Will we get any kind of library, like e-library or something for students?
Yes, e-library can be given to them. I would like Nikita to make note of this. Preeti ma'am? Yes, it can be given. Although we would want them to read books, we have a lovely library. In fact, we have 2 libraries now. One is a senior library, one is a junior library, and beautiful places for children to sit. And I have tons of books there. And we do have an e-library connection to the senior library. We have an attachment with other libraries of the world. Yes.
I wanted to understand, when Rajana was showing the presentation, there was some subjects mentioned. So I couldn't see any Indian languages like Hindi or Sanskrit anywhere as a subject. Is it still there in the curriculum, or we are not focusing on
Hindi? We are continuing. We are continuing because that we are in India. 2, that looking at the education scenario, what has happened in CBSE, both 9 and 10 and 11 and 12, I think all of you would be aware, that they have made one Indian language compulsory. So my students who have studied French or Sanskrit in 6, 7, 8 as a third language will have to continue with Hindi as a second language in 9 and 10. And they will have to continue with Hindi as a second language in 11 and 12. Their idea is national, that people can continue with Marathi or Kannada or in different states. But here in UP it's Hindi. So looking at that, we are continuing. So after 8th, we are not going to ask them to continue with Hindi. It is just that in India they should know Hindi. Just like when you go to any foreign country, they teach their own language also to you so that you can communicate.
And what about practical knowledge of Hindi? I mean, if it's there in 8th class, how a person will be able to teach in the practical way, the way we are teaching mathematics, for example?
So languages are not taught like mathematics. Languages, you see, in language we say SLR. Listening, speaking, reading and writing skills. All languages are taught in these manners. Hindi is also taught in the same manner. In fact, you will find that just now we have floated the syllabus also. There also, you see, it is very clear how we are going to judge the speaking skills or reading skills or writing skills of the students. So some impact of the pedagogy used in languages in Cambridge, of course, can be seen in Hindi also. Okay, so they do
So yes, checkpoint exams happens in grade 5 and grade 8. It does not happen every year, and there is a reason for it. If you were listening to the presentation, I spoke about spiral methodology of teaching. Whatever the child studies from grade 1 to 5, it's all collectively tested in grade 5. So grade 5 checkpoint exam is not only going to be what he or she has learned in grade 5. Grade 8 checkpoint exam is not only going to be assessed for what he or she has learned in grade 8. The spiral method is only to test the real application of knowledge and not only information. Let's say that I passed from grade 1 to 2 to 3. I'm in 5 today. Cambridge doesn't want children to forget what they studied in 1, 2, 3, 4 and similarly the rest of the classes. That's why the spiral methodology of teaching takes place, and collectively checkpoint happens in grade 5 and then 6, 7, 8 collective assessment takes place in grade 8. Checkpoint exam is a global exam conducted by University of Cambridge. That means the question papers come from Cambridge and the answer scripts, not for every subject but for few subjects, go to Cambridge. Otherwise, there are assessors who come from Cambridge and the rest of the world to different schools as inspectors to assess these checkpoint exams. Okay, so they are externally conducted, they are externally marked. There's also a concept of exam officer training in Cambridge. Mostly the schools do take training to train their exam officer to check and correct and frame the papers which aligns to the standards of checkpoint, but that doesn't happen in every school. We encourage, because it is a global exam, the checking, marking and the assessment also should happen globally. This is how it is done.
Yes, more queries, please.
Hi, good morning. My kid is in class 6, sorry, and will be in class 7. If I choose to the Cambridge curriculum, what will happen after that? Because I have learned here, the student till class 7 will be of the curriculum, and after that there is no curriculum in 8, 9, 10 classes. So what will happen now? How he will transform the changes? Because right now he is studying the CBSE curriculum. One year he will study for Cambridge. How will transform for that? Thank you.
Sir, बहुत ही simple है. Even when we start CBSE schools, the first year the school is only till grade 6, and then it grows, and then it gets affiliation to the board. It's the same process we are following for Cambridge. I would not like to say, but there were some schools who immediately started classes up to grade 7. And the following year, they have withdrawn. They have come down to continue Cambridge only till grade 4. We didn't do that mistake. We are building every year. So we started with very basic years, early years, grade 1, 2, 3, and grade 6, to make sure that when my first batch appears either in checkpoint at grade 5 or at checkpoint in grade 8, they have studied and my teachers have taught the Cambridge curriculum for minimum 3 years. That makes it, that because you see, our aspirations are, nothing wrong in having high aspirations, that our kids should really do the best in Cambridge checkpoint exams in the area. So we want that they should be built step by step. So if it is still 7 this year, doesn't mean it will not go up to, it is by design. And so the moment they enter grade 8, our preparation for IGCSE 9 and 10 also begins. So we are going to continue this further, this vertical, there is absolutely no doubt about it. Yeah. Yes. See, the questions make things clear for so many others. So any more questions, please?
Am I audible?
Yes.
So there is a subject, global perspective in Cambridge, which teach our child about global aspects of mainly about Middle East.
Mainly
what about
what?
addressing Indian context and Indianization of all aspects of Cambridge?
You're very right. You see, I also had this, and with the result, we did some SST portion of India in grade 6. But when we experienced it for the full year, what we found was that a lot of Indian themes are, taken up in many other subjects. And if we are teaching them the skill, because SST is not only analytical, it's a lot of information based also. It is easy for the kids to pick it up. So we did a research, we talked to schools also. So some schools are teaching SST or humanities subjects, some schools are not teaching. So we are going to take up Indian ethos only as projects. So some portions of Indian geography as the summer projects. Some, like they talked about the Kalinga War, so some main rulers as a project somewhere else. So that they get connected. And a lot of exposure will happen. You see, they are at Shri Global School. So it's not, we are running both CBSE and Cambridge. So if you see, like we do annual functions, if we are depicting states of India, they do get to learn from there. We celebrate all national festivals together. So it's not that they are not learning anything about it. The subjects of humanities they will pick up by choice from grade 9. And the skills that they are learning till grade 8 will help them do it. See, if I increase the content, I can add SST also in grade 6, 7, 8. In schools, we say class 6 is a heavy class because they start with a lot of details in science and maths. So, if I add more content, then the way they are learning in classrooms will have to be restricted. The skills that we are teaching them with experiential, activity-based learning strategies that we cannot do unless we give it enough time in the school. So I have a choice of increasing the content and doing it badly. So we have chosen that we'll do the Cambridge subjects, use the Cambridge methodology and make our children independent learners. And that is the idea of Cambridge.
Like, there is no suggestion.
Yes.
You can write few chapters along with the global perspective.
Very well taken. Okay, very well taken. We'll do that. We'll do that. So this year also grade 6 had studied. So we can add a few chapters from India, the important things about India, definitely.
You can do also like if you write a chapter. So they have a sense of being in India, they know what is India is.
See, I had this discussion with some of the publishers because the books of SST from 6 to 8 are very heavy books. So I actually talked to them that for Cambridge curriculum, why don't you make something lighter, including only important aspects of India. But we can do it at our level. We can give some photocopy of chapters that we want to cover or show it, digitally. Yeah. Absolutely. Point taken, sir. Yes. I also love my India. Yes. Any more suggestions? Yes, sir. The mic here, please.
Hello. Yeah, my daughter is studying in regarding studies, I am very happy. Even in the Nikita ma'am, award, she was working earlier in school, but now she is in school in English with a great everything. The only thing I want to say that in IB, they also emphasize on sports also. But in our school, we don't emphasize on sports. There's only problem my daughter really like they have only one period of PE in the whole week. See, we are sending our kids to school not just to become a doctor, engineer, and IR. We also want to become a sports person. So in this school, this particular IB, they are not getting any chance of this. I came here personally to just tell them this to you that in this sport, you should give some emphasis on sports also. If some kids want to play basketball, they want to become a champion in that. Some want to become gymnastics, even skates. You have sports, but those are not giving so much emphasis on that.
Absolutely correct, sir. And I actually welcome your suggestion. Can you please give a round of applause to this gentleman? I also always am with the kids because I want them to play. Play is the best form of research and learning. So definitely, I think we gave 2 periods last year, but we'll see that we can introduce more games and give another extra period. Yes, please.
Like we are studying daily, we have 6 periods of study. You should give 1 period of PE to every day. They will get energy to study, they get interest to come to school. It's not like sports is like other studies. Today, a lot of people making this career in sports. They're coming medical and science. People making career in sports also. You see, there's so much discussion in sports also. You don't give 1 or 2 periods in the whole day. You will never go to anybody.
Yeah, you see, what happens is that if you want to pursue a specific sports, then you do it before or after school. But definitely in school also, because you see, sports has very important connection with your health and well-being. So we want that. In fact, this brings me to one more sharing. There is a new subject in Cambridge, well-being, which we have also taken up from April. So there also, you see, you are saying to have 1 PE period every day. We have 1 recreational period every day for them. It may not be PE, but they get either library or clubs. The timetable is made in such a way. Yeah. So we give them 1, fun period every day, for which they should have a reason to come, because today I have my club, so I want to go. So it's no, sports is a must. And children who don't do sports do not learn to handle failures. It's only when you lose in sports and you bounce back that you develop that resilience. So I think point taken, we would definitely have more sports, especially for Cambridge kids. Nikita, right?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.